Hey guys, here we're going to write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line shown in the graph. Recall that our slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b, where our m is our slope and our b is our y-intercept. So what we're going to go ahead and do is look for the y-intercept first, because you can look at your graph and figure out what it is, all right? And this is why. The y-intercept is the point or the place at which our graph crosses the y-axis. So where does my graph, or in other words, the red line, cross the y-axis? It crosses here. What's the value of y at that position? Well, it's halfway between 1 and 0, so it's going to be 1/2. Okay? So we know then that our b is 1/2. So now we just need to figure out what our slope is. Slope is given as the change in y over the change in x. Or you may have seen it as delta y over delta x, means the same thing. Now, if you know a quicker method to find your slope, go ahead and use it. But I'm just going to go and use the formula here in this specific example. Okay, so the formula is going to be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now, you're probably wondering, what is x2? What's y2? Well, I'm going to just label my points. You can choose whichever one you want to represent, the first point or the second point, all right? The point that's in the third quadrant is going to be my first point. The point that's in the first quadrant is going to be my second point. So what does that mean? That means the x-coordinate in the second quadrant is going to be my x2, and the y-coordinate in the first quadrant is going to be my y2. Okay, the 2 subscript is pretty much saying that that's the coordinate, the x and y coordinate of the second point. All right, so there's no need for confusion there. Now let's go ahead and plug it into our formula. First of all, I'm going to rewrite my formula without putting y2 and y1s. I'm going to simply use parentheses to represent those numbers, okay? So y2 minus y1, whatever that value is, goes there, divided by x2 minus x1. All right, now let's go ahead and just plug in the values. Whatever our y2 is, that goes there. Our y2 is 4, and our question has -4, but it's in the first quadrant, so we know that it can't be -4. All right, it has to be +4. Our y1 is -3. Our x2 is 2. And our x1 is going to be -2. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this a little bit cleaner. It's going to be 4 minus a -3 divided by 2 minus a -2. Make sure you review your combination of negative numbers, positive numbers, and that will definitely help here. All right, so 4 minus a -3 ends up becoming 4 plus 3, which is 7. And 2 minus a -2 ends up being 2 plus 2, which is 4. And that is our slope, or our m. So now we can go ahead and rewrite our formula, just plugging in the values for b, which is 1/2, and for our slope, m, which is 7/4. So our equation then would be y is equal to 7/4 x plus 1/2. And that is our equation in slope-intercept form of the line shown in the graph.